We cannot know this legendary head, with eyes like ripening fruit, and yet his torso is still suffused with brilliance from inside, like a lamp in which his gaze, now turned low, gleams in all its power. Otherwise, the curved breast could not dazzle you so, nor could a smile run through the placid hips and thighs to that dark center where procreation flared. Otherwise, this stone would seem defaced beneath the translucent cascade of the shoulders and would not glisten like a wild beast's fur, would not, from all the borders of itself, burst like a star. For here there is no place that does not see you. You must change your life. For those who just arrived, one more time, Archaic Torso of Apollo. We cannot know this legendary head with eyes like ripening fruit, and yet his torso is still suffused with brilliance from inside, like a lamp in which his gaze, now turned low, gleams in all its power. Otherwise, the curved breast could not dazzle you so, nor could a smile run through the placid hips and thighs to that dark center where procreation flared. Otherwise, this stone would seem defaced beneath the translucent cascade of the shoulders and would not glisten like a wild beast's fur, would not, from all the borders of itself, burst like a star. For here there is no place that does not see you. You must change your life. And for the German speakers in the room, I'm going to leave it on screen as the original as we go into our meditation, and then return to the English when I speak about it. So let's take a comfortable seat. Feet flat on the floor. Feeling the foundation of the earth underneath you. And just straightening your posture a little bit, which I'm always reminding myself to do. Lengthening the neck by 1 millimeter, 2 millimeters. And then beginning with the muscles around the eyes. And in the forehead. And around the mouth and in the jaw, just softening everything. Feeling the softness underneath the stone that we present to the world, like the star that's bursting out of this archaic torso. Just letting the shoulders fall. And now feeling that same star bursting from the heart. as though it were your eyes to see with. And lengthening the breath as best you can to 4 counts in, nice deep breath. And then exhaling to 5. And then again, 4 counts in. And exhaling to 5. Whatever it is that's changing in your life right now, some minuscule, almost unnoticeable change, or maybe something much larger. Just breathe it in with 4 counts. And then in the forge of the heart, breathe it out again to 5. Breathing in to 4 counts. This is change. This is impermanence. And then breathing it out until it transforms into the gold, into awe, into astonishment. Breathing it in to 4 counts. Breathing it out again into awe and astonishment. Now we're all here. We cannot know his legendary head with eyes like ripening fruit. And yet his torso is still suffused with brilliance from inside, like a lamp, in which his gaze, now turned low, gleams in all its power. Otherwise, the curved breast could not dazzle you so, nor could a smile run through the placid hips and thighs to that dark center where procreation flared. Otherwise, this stone would seem defaced beneath the translucent cascade of the shoulders and wouldn't glisten like a wild beast's fur, would not, from all the borders of itself, burst like a star. For here there's no place that doesn't see you. You must change your life. There is a sense of the torso itself being the translation in English for me. I co-translate German poetry, as some of you know, but I don't speak German. And so when I read this Stephen Mitchell's Rilke, Archaic Torso, I feel like I'm meeting a kind of archaic torso, if you know what I mean. We can't know this legendary head. I can't know this legendary poem. I can only know the bridge that hooks me into its originality. But it's better than nothing. And this poem has certainly done much to change my life. It's changed my point of view in countless ways. And I've been trying to think about uh, a way to introduce this subject. And I thought about Gorham's Cave again. I have a poem about it in my new book called Ice. And Gorham's Cave is in Gibraltar. It's a place in which the most Neanderthal bones have ever been found on Earth. And significantly on the wall of the cave is a kind of scratch mark that you're seeing here that comes from that period 39,000 years ago. It's like a last holdout of Neanderthal existence. And this scratch is so mysterious to me. It reaches me the way this archaic torso must have reached Rilke when he came across it in the Louvre. It's exactly the things that he didn't know about the archaic torso that made all the things that were present burst forth like a star. There was this dead, headless form that at first seemed just like a stone, a relic. And then looking deeply into it, he saw the unknowable reaching out and seeing him from all parts of itself. And that's what I encounter when I look at these scratch marks on the wall of Gorham's Cave. I turn inwardly to the Neanderthal genes in myself, and I think about the violence required for me to exist at all. And I reach a place of awe through that vehicle of unknowability. It's a tremendously powerful image for me. And so today I was hoping to help everybody find their own anchor into this same kind of awe. But we also see in this poem the theme of Rilke's angels. Uh, you might remember from the Duino Elegies, his famous late poems. Every angel is terrifying. The idea that there is suffused in the world angelic figures who witness us, and not like the angels that we know who guide us and impart wisdom and try to help us, but who just witness us impassively. These angels are terrifying because they see us as we are, and they see us with all of our names and identities stripped away, and they challenge us to rise to our highest selves. So this idea of changing your life and the archaic torso as an angel is a very powerful one for me as well. And there are angels everywhere we look. We could find in the image of the suffering Christ an angel. Or we could find the image of the sunrise arc, which I included here again from the James Webb telescope, a kind of angel. Rilke talks about a smile set into the hips of this Apollo, and the sunrise arc. If you look in the lower right-hand corner of this picture, is a something like a smile set into the origins of the universe. And looking back at us, it challenges us to know ourselves as part of this immensity. But since Rilke was an artist, since Rilke was a poet, he chose this, the god of forms. He chose the sculpture as his angel. And the angel is always telling us, you are part of the truth out of which I have come. The angel is a translator. The angel is a bridge between the transcendent and this immanent world. But the last thing I want to say is about the emphasis on change in this poem, because this is a poem really about confronting our own impermanence. He says in the poem, "From all the borders of itself, burst like a star, for there is no place that does not see you. You must change your life." You see that because there's no head to this torso, all the parts of it become its eyes. And in seeing you this way and knowing that you are seen, something in you is challenged to change your life. But if you look at the German, it's the word change that ends the poem. You must your life change. And this is, of course, a requirement of German grammar to have the verb land at the end of the sentence. But it does make a difference. You must change your life puts the emphasis on life in the English. But let's think about the German original. You must your life change puts the emphasis on change, on the changing. It's a small but I think distinct difference here. Change is the vehicle for life in English, but life is the vehicle for the truth of change in the German original of Rilke. Here it is one more time. Archaic Torso of Apollo. We cannot know his legendary head with eyes like ripening fruit. And yet his torso is still suffused with brilliance from inside, like a lamp in which his gaze, now turned low, gleams in all its power. Otherwise, the curved breast could not dazzle you so, nor could his smile run through the placid hips and thighs to that dark center where procreation flared. Otherwise, this stone would seem defaced beneath the translucent cascade of the shoulders and wouldn't glisten like a wild beast's fur, would not, from all the borders of itself, burst like a star. For here there is no place that doesn't see you. You must change your life. So let's go back into that comfortable position, feet flat. Posture straightening, lengthening the neck by a millimeter or two, and just softening everything. What is that angel for you? Can you anchor today in being seen by such an angel? So you see yourself as a part of that immensity, that unknowability, that uncreatedness. Could be an injured animal, or the glint of the sunrise arc in space. Or like it is for me, the scratch of consciousness on the wall of Gorham's cave. Could be a newborn opening its eyes for the first time. And you being her first glimpse of the world. Just see that anchor seeing you with all its eyes. And as you breathe out, feel the awe of that. Feel the ennobling power that you're a part of that lineage. It could be a room of shoes at Auschwitz-Birkenau. It could be the poetry of Rumi. Now let's return to that practice of that small portion of your life that has recently undergone a change. Just breathing it in. To 4 counts. Breathing it out with wonder, with awe. I use this practice of ABCD that I came up with a few years ago. It's so helpful for me. A is as it is. B is be present for it. C is change like this is inevitable. And D is don't judge it or yourself for how you might respond. How must you, your life, be change? How must you, your life, be a vehicle of change? That's what this poem is saying to me. That's what this poem is asking me. Archaic Torso of Apollo. We cannot know his legendary head, with eyes like ripening fruit, and yet his torso is still suffused with brilliance from inside, like a lamp in which his gaze, now turned to low, gleams in all its power. Otherwise, the curved breast could not dazzle you so, nor could a smile run through the placid hips and thighs to that dark center where procreation flared. Otherwise, this stone would seem defaced beneath the translucent cascade of the shoulders and would not glisten like a wild beast's fur, would not, from all the borders of itself, burst like a star. For here there is no place that does not see you. You must change your life.